What it do, YouTube? Your boy LTD back at it again with another one. And today I'm gonna be checking out Wrestle Mafia, the greatest era in WWE Smackdown history. And not gonna lie, bro, I need to check this video out to relive some of the greatest moments in Smackdown history, because what I just watched, matter of fact, what I just took a glimpse at on Smackdown, I didn't even watch the entire show. Like, I didn't watch that shit at all because I already knew what the hell was gonna happen. I rather prefer watching a playoff game, which I was yesterday, than watching wherever the hell I was watching on Friday Night Smackdown, because I already knew that shit was gonna be boring. I just knew it. And boy, oh boy, oh boy, was it boring. It was horrible. Just horrible. The fact that the show's main event was the gingerbread man's funeral? Are you serious? That was the main event. That was the vocal point for SmackDown. The gingerbread man in his funeral. Are we serious? To be honest, I already thought that Vince McMahon was back. To be honest, because that is some Vince McMahon type of shit right there. That's what it reminded me of. The 2018-2019 years, the darkest years in WWE history, was some horrible, I mean horrible booking. And it looks like they're replicating that same shit, this time with a gingerbread man revolving around the US title. That's what we're doing right now. We're revolving a gingerbread man over the United States title between Sami Zayn and Trick Williams. Are you serious? So I had to take a look at this video right here, man, to relive some of the greatest moments in SmackDown history. And back then, SmackDown was the shit. Like, great feuds, great matches, great promos, great storylines. Like, SmackDown had it all. I don't know what the fuck happened to the show I loved. I don't know. But without further ado, man, let's chill and relax and let's get started with this video. This should be a dope one right here. Make sure I go subscribe to Wrestle Mafia. Alright, let's get started.
Taker and Batista went to war. When Jeff Hardy finally reached the top. When Edge and Vicky Guerrero were the most hated couple on Earth. When Jericho unmasked Rey Mysterio and Kane buried his brother. When Edge cashed in on the dead man and was chokeslammed to hell for his sins. And these are just some of the moments that defined SmackDown's
so damn good.
When the Blue Brand had a unique identity, a stacked roster, and some of the best storylines in wrestling history.
Like I just said.
But what exactly made SmackDown during this period so fun? What were the feuds, matches, and moments that defined this era? And who were the stars that made the Blue Brand more exciting than Raw every week? Let's take a trip down memory lane and answer all those questions as we revisit the great...
And that's real ironic. Now Raw is better than SmackDown. Back then, we thought that SmackDown was the A show. Now Raw is the A show.
...era in SmackDown history.
Yep.
Our story
Undertaker
begins at the 2007
Batista.
Royal Rumble. Going into the year, Batista ruled SmackDown as the monster champion who felt like an unstoppable force. But at the Royal Rumble, things would be set in motion for the unstoppable force to meet the immovable object. On January 27, 2007, The Undertaker won the Royal Rumble, the one achievement that had eluded him for his entire career. He then stood face-to-face with all three of WWE's world champions,
I remember this. This is pretty good right here.
And made his choice. He chokeslammed Batista in the center of the ring, and their match was set for WrestleMania 23. The weeks leading up to WrestleMania built the match perfectly.
So good.
The two were forced to coexist in tag team matches, and that uneasy alliance started cracking. What started as a rivalry built on respect had become something far more personal by the time they reached No Way Out, when a spinebuster by Batista cost the team their match against Cena and HBK. Neither man could stand sharing the spotlight with the other any longer. At WrestleMania 23, in front of a packed Ford Field in Detroit,
they put on a good match. I'm not gonna lie, they put on a good match.
With aggression, aiming for a quick win, but The Undertaker recovered fast and reminded the animal why WrestleMania was his yard. Back and forth they went, big move after big move. And after almost 20 minutes of powerbombs and chokeslams, the streak claimed its 15th victim, and the World Heavyweight Championship was going home with the dead man. But Batista wasn't done. He demanded his rematch and got it at Backlash in a last man standing match.
This was good too.
Both men pushed each other to the absolute limit until a spear by Batista sent both men crashing off the stage. Neither could answer
Such
the
a great
count.
moment.
The match was ruled a draw and the title stayed with Undertaker. They ran it back one more time, this time inside a steel cage on an episode
Yep.
of Smackdown. Both men escaped the cage at the same time, and Undertaker was again declared the champion. But what happened next changed everything. Mark Henry stormed the ring and demolished the already battered Undertaker. And while officials scrambled to restore order, a very familiar
Edge
entrance theme
cashing in the Money
Edge
in the
walked
Bank
down the
once
ramp carrying
again.
his Money in the Bank briefcase and seized the opportunity. He handed the briefcase over, the bell rang, and just like that, The Undertaker's title reign was over. The
Yep.
ultimate opportunist had once again struck and stole the big gold.
Edge once again being the ultimate opportunist. First he did it to Cena, and then he did it to The Undertaker. Edge, you slimy bastard.
Undertaker and Batista feud had delivered some of the most brutal matches in years, but Edge had ended it without throwing a single punch. The dead man was hungry for revenge, but Edge had a wild card up his sleeve.
The Revenge of the Dead Man.
Edge's first World Heavyweight Championship reign was short. He vacated the title shortly afterward due to injury, and the title went back to Batista after he defeated the Great Khali. In the meantime, the dead man made his return and got revenge on Mark Henry, before setting his sights back on the world title and Batista. While all this was happening on TV, Edge spent his time away building alliances, getting closer to SmackDown general manager Vicky Guerrero, and positioning himself to strike again. When he returned at the 2007 Survivor Series, he was ready to execute his master plan. He came back disguised as a cameraman during the Undertaker and Batista's Hell in a Cell match.
This was a good match too.
Across the skull with the camera, costing him both the match and the title. At Armageddon, with help from Kurt Hawkins and Zack Ryder, Edge defeated Undertaker and Batista in a triple threat match to become World Heavyweight Champion for the...
Not gonna lie, bro. Edge was making the Undertaker's life a living hell back then. Like, deadass. Like, he did everything in his power to make sure Undertaker doesn't win the World Heavyweight title. Everything.
The second time. He had now cost The Undertaker the title 3 times without ever having beaten him clean,
insane.
And everyone knew that vengeance was coming. Undertaker won an Elimination Chamber match at No Way Out 2008 to earn his shot, and the two finally met at WrestleMania 24 in the main event.
Another good match.
Edge brought his whole La Familia stable with him, but it still wasn't enough. The Undertaker defeated Edge to win the World Heavyweight Championship, extending the streak to 16 wins. The dead man had finally gotten his hands on the man who had been running circles around him for the better part of a year, but the story wasn't over. In fact, it was just getting started.
Hell in a
I've
Cell.
been needing more art in my bedroom and
beat it,
recently
Ad.
painted this canvas. However, I wasn't
Let's
quite
go.
sure the
Undertaker won a rematch against Edge at Backlash, but Vicky Guerrero stripped him of the title and banned his submission hold, calling it dangerous.
Oh yeah,
The
I
title
forgot
was
about
declared
that.
vacant.
Yeah.
At Judgment Day, Undertaker won by countout, but championships can't change hands on a countout, so the belt remained in limbo. Vicky then made a TLC match for the vacant championship at One Night Stand, with the stipulation that if The Undertaker lost, he would be banned from WWE entirely. During the match, La Familia showed up in full force. The Undertaker fought through all of them, putting Hawkins and Ryder through tables, hitting a last ride on Edge off the ladder through 2 more tables. But the numbers game was too much. Edge recovered, pushed the ladder over, and sent Undertaker crashing through 4 tables on the outside before he retrieved the championship. Edge was back on top again. The Undertaker was gone, or so it seemed. The rated R superstar got too cocky and made the mistake of cheating on Vicky Guerrero. When she found out, she did the one thing Edge feared most. She reinstated The Undertaker and booked them in a Hell in a Cell match at SummerSlam. Edge, panicking, sat down with Mick Foley on the cutting edge
and asked
I remember for advice on how to survive the Devil's Playground.
Yeah, I remember this. Mick Foley was trying to get to Edge. He was like, where was the Edge that speared me through a flaming table? Where was the Edge that beat the hell out of me for the past couple weeks? Where was the Edge that beat the hell out of me at WrestleMania? Where is that Edge yet? Where's that Edge at? Like, to be honest, this version of you is not going to beat The Undertaker. The Undertaker is going to destroy you if you don't get your shit together. Where was that same Edge that basically had a fire lit inside of him? That's the Edge I want. That's the Edge that needs to step foot in a Hell in a Cell with The Undertaker. This version of Edge is soft. And then I believe Edge started beating the shit out of Mick Foley, and then Mick Foley was sent packing to TNA, I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Against the dead man. Foley told him he needed to rediscover his inner monster. Edge claimed he understood, then viciously attacked Foley to prove the point. At SummerSlam, despite Edge's best efforts, The Undertaker made him pay, and after the match, chokeslammed him off a ladder through the canvas of the ring itself, with fire erupting from below. Edge was symbolically sent to hell. The rivalry was over, and The Undertaker had finally gotten the last word. From the cash-in to the cameraman disguise to the TLC match to Hell in a Cell, The Undertaker and Edge spent over a year producing one of the most creative and personal feuds SmackDown has ever seen. And just as that chapter closed, a new one was already beginning on the same brand.
The rise of Jeff
While
Hardy.
The Undertaker and Edge were tearing each other apart, a certain charismatic enigma was slowly rising to the top. Jeff Hardy had been one of the most popular performers on the roster for years, but the WWE Championship had always felt just out of reach. Hardy was drafted from Raw to SmackDown in June 2008 as part of the annual draft. The Blue Brand's audience latched onto him immediately, and WWE started listening. He became one of the faces of the SmackDown brand and was clearly the people's choice going into the second half of 2008. But the road to the top wasn't smooth. Hardy challenged for the WWE Championship at No Mercy and Cyber Sunday, but came up short both times. Then came Survivor Series, where it looked like his moment had finally arrived. He had earned a spot in the title match, and the crowd was ready to watch him win. But on the day of the show, Hardy was found unconscious in a hotel stairwell in Boston. Edge took his place, won the title, and Hardy was once again left on the outside looking in. The crowd reactions for Jeff kept getting louder, and years of sacrifice, years of risking his body for the fans, years of chasing a dream finally reached its conclusion when Jeff faced Edge and Triple H in a triple threat at Armageddon. During the match, Triple H hit a pedigree on Edge, then Hardy followed immediately with a swanton bomb from the top rope.
Jeff came from out of nowhere.
And just like that, the lifelong dream was
and JR on commentary made it even better. From charismatic enigma to champion. That was so damn good, bro. So good.
But the celebration didn't last long. At the Royal Rumble, Hardy lost the
WWE. JR was like from charismatic enigma to icon. From daredevil to champion. That was so good. Yeah, that's what he said right there. And that was a good triple threat match as well.
Championship back to Edge when his brother Matt turned on him, hitting him with a steel chair.
I was pissed on that too.
Years of watching his younger brother get all the glory while he scraped for scraps had forced Matt to join the dark side. Their resulting feud consumed the first months of 2009, playing out across WrestleMania and Backlash before Jeff finally made Matt say, "I quit." But the charismatic enigma wasn't done chasing gold. After finishing things with Matt, he won a ladder match against Edge at Extreme Rules to capture his first World Heavyweight Championship. He had now held both world titles and climbed to the very top of the pro wrestling mountain. But then, before he could even catch his breath, it all came crashing down. CM Punk had won the Money in the Bank briefcase at WrestleMania 25 and had been waiting patiently for the right moment. When Hardy climbed down from the ladder at Extreme Rules, beaten up and exhausted, Punk decided that moment had arrived. He cashed in, hit the GTS twice on a barely standing Hardy, and walked out as champion. What followed was the most personal feud SmackDown produced during this entire era. The contrast between their personas made for an interesting dynamic. The self-righteous, clean-living villain clashed with the fallible hero who had a documented history battling addiction. Punk used this against Hardy constantly, berating him about his past and calling him a bad example. Hardy fought back and recaptured the title at Night of Champions, but Punk then won it back at SummerSlam in a tables, ladders, and chairs match. 5 days later, the feud reached its end. Hardy invoked his rematch clause, and the two met in a steel cage match on SmackDown, with the stipulation that the loser had to leave WWE. In the end, Punk jabbed his thumbs into Hardy's eyes. And
not gonna lie, this moment really made me sad as a kid. Like, as soon as Punk came down from that steel cage, not gonna lie, bro, I damn near balled up. I damn near cried. Because I was like, damn, Jeff gone?
Dropped to the floor outside to retain the championship and drive Hardy out of the company for good. Kids in the arena were crying. Fans watching at home were furious. Jeff Hardy's run on SmackDown, one of the most emotionally connecting stories wrestling had ever seen, ended not with a triumphant send-off, but with a cold, calculated dismissal by a man who had outsmarted him at every turn. The backstage story was that Hardy needed time away from the company, and WWE chose not to renew his contract when it expired shortly after. He left as one of the biggest what-ifs of the era, a guy who, with a cleaner run, could have been the defining face of SmackDown for years. CM Punk, meanwhile, walked out of the feud as the most compelling villain on the brand, and with Hardy gone, SmackDown needed a new hero to step up to Punk.
Hurry up, ad, go away. I'm in the middle of this video. Come on.
With Hardy gone and CM Punk firmly entrenched as the top villain on SmackDown, Rey Mysterio would get involved in a deeply personal feud with
Oh
Punk
yeah,
and
this
his
was good
straight
too.
edge society.
This
But
feud
before
right here.
that, Rey had to fight another veteran who didn't just want to win, but also wanted to steal
This
Rey's
was
mask.
good. Chris Jericho,
Mysterio
Rey
won the
Mysterio.
Intercontinental Championship at WrestleMania 25 by defeating JBL in 21 seconds, then was drafted back to SmackDown shortly after. Chris Jericho, who had also arrived on the brand, immediately set his sights on the title and on Mysterio personally. He called Mysterio a coward who hid behind a mask. In his autobiography, Jericho revealed that Vince McMahon initially dismissed the mask angle, telling him nobody cares about the mask. Jericho pushed back, explaining the deep cultural significance of a luchador's mask, the identity, the family legacy, the dignity it represented, and convinced Vince to let them run with it. Their first match at Judgment Day saw Mysterio defend his title successfully, landing the 619 after Jericho's own anger caused him to crash headfirst into the ring post. At Extreme Rules, Jericho caught Mysterio going for the 619, yanked the mask off his face, and got a quick cover on a stunned and exposed Rey to win the Intercontinental Championship for a record 9th time. He paraded the mask around SmackDown like a trophy the following weeks, maximizing every bit of humiliation he could squeeze out of the moment. Mysterio responded by putting his mask on the line in a title versus mask match at the Bash. Jericho ripped the mask off mid-match and held it high, only to discover that Mysterio was wearing a second
another mask. Yeah, I remember that.
The distraction gave Rey the opening
that was smart.
And the 619 connected to win back the Intercontinental Championship. It was one of the cleverest finishes SmackDown had produced in years, and it landed perfectly because of how carefully the story had been built. Each match in the series built on the last. That's the kind of storytelling you rarely see in the WWE today. Mysterio retained the title one final time against Jericho on SmackDown in July to end the feud. After that, he moved on to a brief but heated feud against CM Punk and his Straight Edge Society that also featured a young Dominic Mysterio. But while stars like Punk, Hardy, Edge, Taker, and Batista, a young Dominic...
Look at Dom right now, man. Was standing side by side with his dad. And now, he's getting all the honeys. And he's a 2-time Intercontinental Champion. Boy, time flies real fast.
Mysterio. But while stars like Punk, Hardy, Edge, Taker, and Batista dominated the top of the card, the Blue brand had an equally strong undercard that often stole the show. One of the things that separated this era of SmackDown from everything else was the sheer volume of quality across the entire card. Before Batista and Edge even entered the picture in 2007, The Undertaker had already been dealing with a pest in Mr. Kennedy. The two had been feuding since late 2006, and it escalated quickly. At Survivor Series 2006, Kennedy defeated The Undertaker in a first blood match. The dead man got his revenge at Armageddon in a last ride match that was even more brutal than their first encounter. The Brothers of Destruction had their moments too, reuniting periodically to remind SmackDown who the most dangerous team on the roster was. In late 2006, The Undertaker and Kane teamed up to dismantle Mr. Kennedy and MVP. As the years went on, the mid-card kept getting stronger with future world champions like Dolph Ziggler and Drew McIntyre joining the Blue brand. Cody Rhodes arrived as part of Legacy on Raw, but found his footing on SmackDown, where he debuted a new narcissistic character called Dashing Cody Rhodes. The gimmick eventually led to him getting his nose broken by Rey Mysterio's knee brace, turning him into the masked, embittered, undashing Cody. Also, at the inaugural Bragging Rights pay-per-view in October 2009, Team SmackDown, captained by Chris Jericho, defeated Team Raw to take home the trophy. It was a fitting victory for a brand that had, over the previous 3 years, delivered some of the finest television in WWE, 2 world-class main event feuds in The Undertaker's battles with Batista and Edge, a generation-defining title run, and heartbreaking exit from Jeff Hardy, the most compelling villain SmackDown had seen in years in CM Punk, the most creative mid-card feud of the era in Jericho vs. Mysterio. From 2007 to 2009, these men carried SmackDown through its golden age, and it was the best show in wrestling.
Yeah, man, this was a dope video, man. I'm gonna hurry up for this bag gets out the way, please. Thank you. But yeah, man, this was a dope video, man. I'm finna go ahead and get this video a like. And yeah, like he said, SmackDown around this time, it cooked. Not just in the main event scene, but also in the mid-card division. Like the Rey Mysterio Chris Jericho feud, that was so underrated. The Batista Undertaker feud, definitely one of my favorite ones. And also Jeff Hardy versus CM Punk, another underrated feud. Like boy, oh boy, oh boy. SmackDown had it good back then. But right now, they lost that same magic. Like it's no longer there. Sure, there's probably some good stuff here and there, but it doesn't pale in comparison to what I just watched. This right here is miles above, way better, way damn better than whatever the hell we got on right now. Cause what we got right now on Smackdown is a complete snooze fest. Not saying there ain't no good stuff on there, but majority of the show is boring. This right here was entertaining. Like for real. But comment down below what y'all think about this video. What's y'all favorite era of Smackdown? Make sure y'all like, subscribe to my channel. This your boy LTD signing out. Peace.